Hi guys! In today's video, I would love to address the very frustrating issue of no-shows. No-shows in the lash business, they're so frustrating and disheartening. And honestly, I mean, it's just such a disappointment when you've booked off time for somebody and they don't show up. Not only are you losing money, but you probably feel a little disrespected. And maybe if you take things personally, like I sometimes do, you might even feel a little bit hurt. And I hope that's not the case because it's definitely not personal when clients do this, but it still really sucks. And I know how it feels. I used to get no-showed. No-showed? Is that a word? Anyways, I used to get no-showed in my business 2 or 3 times a week. In the summer, it would happen even more often. And it's not fair. I know how much this affects your business. It affects your time and schedule, but it also affects how much you're able to pay yourself this week. So today we're going to talk about what I did to help. Can never fully eliminate this problem. No-shows will still happen, but I know how to dramatically reduce the number of times it happens in your business, and I'm excited to share that with you. It's really helpful if you can help your clients to understand that when they book an appointment with you, they are reserving that date and time, and you are keeping it exclusively for them. I think sometimes they're not really looking at it that way or thinking about it like that. So one of the things we want to do is make sure they fully understand that. It's like, I have this time slot where I can offer a service to somebody. This is how I earn my living. I am promising this time exclusively to you. This is reserved just for you. And I know for me, a big game changer in my business was when I finally took my business coach's advice and started implementing policies and enforcing them in my lash business. Now, today we're just going to talk about the no-show policy, but honestly, I encourage you to create, implement, and enforce policies in general in your lash business. And if you're interested in that, I'll put the link in the description for you to go and find the blog about that, and it guides you through those steps. But today we're focusing on the awful no-shows that are the bane of the lash industry right now. So yes, when I say implementing policies was a game changer, I mean it was a game changer. Like I said, before implementing policies, I would get no-showed frequently. And the trouble is, I would get no-showed. Again, not sure if that's a word, but we'll make it one. I would get no-showed, and then I would be in a position where now I'm trying to contact the client and get them to pay the no-show fee or cover the cost of their service. And I'm sure you can attest that that almost never happens. What I love about the fact that I implemented this policy and understood how to enforce it by creating protocols that I follow when it happens, I no longer was put on the spot when somebody would no-show. Somebody doesn't come for their appointment. I wasn't in turmoil trying to think, oh, how do I deal with this situation? What do I do? Reaching out to my friends in the forums, asking for advice, losing sleep over it, getting sick to my stomach about it. Because I already knew this is my policy. My client knows this is my policy, and I have a protocol in place of what to follow. So I would simply follow the steps. And the best part is, I actually didn't have to ask them for money, because what I'm going to explain to you is in my policy, they actually paid a reservation fee ahead of time. So I already had the fee in my bank account. I didn't have to go ask them for it. So let me tell you how it works. I was fortunate to be able to learn from Tamsin Horton of Lashing Legally. Again, if you want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description. But Tamsin had brought it to my attention and pointed out to a lot of us in the lash industry, when you charge a deposit for an appointment, you actually can't keep it. It's illegal to keep that money if you didn't provide the service. So what I learned to do is charge a reservation fee when they're booking their appointment. So the difference between that is a reservation fee is actually a fee that I'm charging you for the convenience of reserving my time, reserving that date and time. And that fee is non-refundable because you did book. So you paid me for the privilege of booking, and you booked. So that transaction is done, it's complete, it's final. And then when you come for the service, you have the option, you can offer to your clients that you'll deduct the reservation fee from their service. That's entirely up to you. But unlike a deposit, if they don't come for the service, legally, you have to return the deposit because the deposit was for a service and they didn't receive the service. And so they don't have to pay for it, not partially or wholly. I hope that makes sense. Again, check out the link and you can get a really thorough explanation of the rules and laws around that from Tamsin. But a lot of people in the beauty industry, they charge a deposit, or sometimes they have a no-show policy where they're going to charge you the full price of their services. And this can actually get you in a little bit of hot water, especially if you're taking it upon yourself to charge someone's credit card because you have it on file. Just because you told them you're going to do it doesn't mean it's okay to do it. So learn a little bit more about the legalities of that. But what I learned from Tamsin and what I introduced in my business was great, because now that I knew what I know what I can and can't do legally as far as deposits and no-show fees go, I was so much more confident in implementing my policies and enforcing my policies. So if you have a booking app, this is the best way to do it, because then a lot of booking apps have this ability incorporated into them. So when the client goes to your website or through your link tree on Instagram or wherever they're going, and they get to your booking app, in there, they agree to give their credit card details, pay a reservation fee. You make the verbiage very clear that they understand this is a reservation fee, why they're being charged it, it's non-refundable, and then they book their appointment. So when I started incorporating that, I actually had very little backlash or complaints. I mean, there was a little bit, there's always going to be, but most, like, the clients understood, they knew why I was doing it. I helped them to understand this time is exclusively for you. And I find that even just putting forward a $35 deposit fee, because they've paid money, they're committed to keeping that appointment. So it doesn't fully replace your income if they no-show, but I'm telling you, it's like, so for those people in the beauty industry and in other industries that have done this, it dramatically reduces the amount of no-shows that you get. And it starts to demand that respect from your clients. It starts to create a more loyal, trustworthy relationship. You may lose a couple clients over it because they're going to be like, oh, I'm not paying a reservation fee. It's especially hard to incorporate with existing clients because they're used to things happening a certain way. And maybe for your best loyal clients who have never no-showed you, you're not going to do it. Maybe it's something you just want to do for every new client moving forward. But it's what I found also is, if you're serving your ideal client, instead of having your doors open to everyone and anyone who you can possibly get your hands on, when you're actually working with your ideal client, then it's a different kind of respectful relationship. And those ideal clients genuinely don't get upset when you set boundaries and implement policies. In fact, they're proud of you and excited for you. And they're like, finally, honestly, this has been my experience and the experience of so many other lash artists. Those ideal clients, they actually appreciate the policies. And it feels good for most of your clients too, knowing everybody has to follow the same rules. There's just so many beautiful things that happen when you start implementing policies. But the no-show policy, especially if you can start charging a reservation fee, it really is going to help reduce the number of no-shows that you get. And it's something that I see the girls talking about in the forums and the Facebook groups all the time, is getting no-showed. And it's hard. It really affects your bottom line. It affects your revenue. You now have an hour or two with nothing to do and you're not making any money in that time. And this is your business. So you have every right to make the rules of how you want to run your business, to decide what kind of clients you want to work with in your business. And yes, it's hard building clientele sometimes, but I just really want to empower you to be in charge of your space, be in charge of your business, processes, policies, protocols. You have every right to do that. And it's going to take a little bit of time to come into place. But once you are consistent with this behavior, you will see a shift in the kind of clientele you have. You will see a dramatic reduction in the no-shows. You will just eliminate the concept of people disrespecting your time and not showing up when they're supposed to. It really is, it's life changing. It's a game changer. It's totally a game changer. So I hope that this makes sense. I hope you find it helpful. I would love to know in the comments if you're planning to implement a reservation fee, what kind of pricing people think is appropriate for that. Are you going to do a percentage? Are you going to charge a flat fee? Will you reduce it from the price of the service when they come? And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts, get your feedback. And if any of you have done this and had success, please talk about it in the comments so other people can be empowered to do this and excited about doing it. And honestly, it's going to make everything run so much better. And here's to hoping that you never have to deal with a no-show again. Until next time, take care, and I'll talk to you later.